It's November 20th, 2022. I was in the 10th grade. My grades didn't actually matter at this time, or at least that's what my grades showed at that time. But what kept me away from paying attention to my boring ass history class? To be honest, literally anything. Because who wants to learn about the 1920s in Canada? I mean, it is in the title of the video, right? The 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar happened on this day, 3 years ago. And this may be a hot take, but this was my favorite World Cup ever and is the one I think is the best. I can hear the comments as I am recording. I take it that you guys must think I am some sort of prepubescent child younger than the iPhone 17, but I'm dying on that hill. 2014 definitely does take a close second, if that makes you feel better. I never felt so much emotion and adrenaline watching some of these matches in any other international tournament. So, similar to my Euros video, I'm going to take a look at my 5 most memorable moments from this tournament. The World Cup is coming next summer, and I look forward to witnessing even more iconic moments, if not better. If you like this type of content, like, subscribe, and tell me what your favorite moment from this tournament was. Alright then, let's go. Before I start, I want to clear some things up. World Cup in November? What kind of world are we living in? Well, Qatar is pretty hot like most Middle Eastern countries, so if they were to play in the summer, players would melt to the ground. So they moved it to winter and when temperatures are generally lower. Also, yes, I am aware of the scandals regarding human rights and stadium workers were mistreated, some dying in construction, and I condemn those actions. These guys were getting paid unworkable wages, and you would think it's funny that a country with so much money would treat the people that built these really nice stadiums the way they did. So I just want to get that out of the way. I am talking purely in a footballing sense. At number 5, this is when Canada scored the tournament's fastest goal. This was my country, Canada's first time in the World Cup since 1984, I think. That is a long time. I'm not going to sugarcoat here, but we were proper cheeks. But it didn't matter, Canada was playing in the World Cup. It also didn't help that we were in a group with Belgium, Croatia, and Morocco. But if there's one thing we can come away with here, it's that we scored the tournament's fastest goal against Croatia in 2 minutes. This was also our first ever FIFA World Cup goal, and that's pretty exciting to all us Canadians. I think that's deserving of an award, don't you? And I'm definitely not biased. At number 4 is Saudi Arabia beating Argentina. And look, I still cannot process what happened here and how it did, but Saudi Arabia upset Argentina 2-1. Mind you, this Argentina team went on to win the whole thing. I remember the whole world going absolutely crazy, and Ronaldo fans had a field day. People were saying Messi was going to end up what was possibly his last World Cup without winning the trophy. To be fair, Argentina were back on track after that and Saudi Arabia got grouped. But all I have to say is the one person who bet on them to win had a payout so massive that it retired him and his future generations.
Hey fellas, look what I found in my pocket. Look, a year's salary right here. What I call them? Fun coupons. See that? A fun coupon.
Next up, I have Morocco's miraculous run. The first ever African team in the semifinals. Just sensational. A lot of people did not think Morocco were even going to make it out of the group, but look what happened after. They topped the group over the powerhouses like Belgium and Croatia, beat teams like Spain and Portugal by the narrowest of margins before losing to France in the semis. Even when they lost, they still went out on a high note, finishing 4th place. No African team has ever finished as high as before, and that in itself is a huge achievement. Yassine Bono was definitely one of the best keepers of the entire tournament. And taking the second spot is one of my favorite matches, being Argentina versus Netherlands. 2 of the most drama-filled matches I have ever seen have come from this tournament alone. This is one of them. It starts off as a normal match, right? Just pure football. This dive from Marcos Acuna was never a pen, by the way. Now I get where all the people saying Argentina rigged the tournament come from. All the way until the 89th minute where Leandro Paredes kicks the ball at the Netherlands bench for Lord knows what, and they just reasonably crash out and start fighting. Now it is absolute calamity. There were something like 10 yellow cards sent out, and it was really hard to restore order. But before all of that happened, Dutch substitute Wout Weghorst came on and scored in the 82nd minute to give the Orange a lifeline before eventually scoring off a set piece in the 11th minute of added time. Absolutely mental. Now we get to penalties, and guess who the main man is? Emi Martinez saved the first 2 penalties to send Argentina through, but that wasn't the end of it. This is where we saw that Camilo Bobo which I think was kind of unnecessary. The man was literally waiting for an interview, and I was also surprised that another fight didn't break out. I guarantee if these two meet up again, I'll definitely be there to watch. You better believe it. Also, I don't know how Paredes didn't get like a red card, because like any other ref, and like, yeah, it's a sending off. And my favorite moment of the World Cup, which I don't think will come to a surprise to many people, is the World Cup final. This is the best match of football I've ever seen, and it'll be that way for a very long time. Full stop. The venue, the reward on the line, and the quality of both teams were simply perfect. Kits were class, ball was class, and the biggest footballing moment in 4 years. There was a guy who's trying to win his first World Cup after a 2014 heartbreak to complete his illustrious career against a young star going for another consecutive World Cup. See, it's just these storylines, man, they just get to you. Lionel Messi scores a penalty to start us off, and Angel Di Maria puts in another. It really looks like Argentina has the upper hand here. Not for long though. In the 80th minute, Kylian Mbappe scored a pen to bring them back, but would it be too late? Hell nah, because he goes on to pull this to tie it up. When I saw him attempt this, I did not think it was gonna go in. How does one bend his body like that? Extra time now, Messi taps one in to give Argentina the lead again, followed up by a quickie from Mbappe to make it a hat trick. The scores are now tied, it's almost the end of the game, and this time it's France with the opportunity to win it once and for all. However, Emi Martinez had other plans and made the most crucial spread save to deny Randall Kolo Muani. Penalties now. Not much has happened here, but Emi Martinez does make a save and Tchouaméni misses one, and finished by Gonzalo Montiel to win Argentina the World Cup. He's finally done it. Leo Messi finally won a World Cup. He's completed his career with every single prestigious award out there. What a match. I still get goosebumps watching the highlights. We cannot ignore Kylian Mbappe though. I don't think anybody has ever scored in a World Cup final until that very day. At least he didn't walk away empty-handed. He did win the Golden Boot. And, you know, I can only hope that next year's final is going to be just as pulse racing. And I wouldn't be surprised if I saw Kylian Mbappe in the final again, considering how good his form has been this season. And that brings us to today. To be honest, I don't think there will ever be a better feeling than watching the World Cup in school. Thank God some of my teachers were chill and put it on the big screen. But we'll see what the future holds for us. You know what? I want Portugal to win this year. It is Cristiano Ronaldo's last World Cup. So I think it's only fair that the stars align for this to happen. And we don't have to end up with this GOAT debate stuff and enjoy them for what they offer to the beautiful game. That would shock the world for sure. And yeah, that is going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you like, subscribe, and let me know if there's a moment that I missed in this video. And yeah, there's gonna definitely be more World Cup content coming soon, but until then, have a good day and peace.